All right, we can drop the music. We can drop that beat. Just want to get on here and talk a little bit. I ain't gonna be on too long this time. It's already late. It's already late now. Just some minor things going on that I just wanted to discuss as a whole because tomorrow is fight night, and I'm gonna do a live stream for tomorrow. For Invicta FC. So yeah, let's get it in, man. What's going on, Marcus Bell? Yeah, just a few things I want to talk about because I just got done watching the tough semifinals for the flyweights, right? I got done watching that fight, and I want to talk about that, and I just want to talk about these little fights here going on. Brian Williams, what's up, man? I want to talk about these fights. When is it? Saturday night? Yeah, these little fights. So I want to go ahead and kind of give my picks on who I think's gonna win these couple of things, and talk about Invicta a little bit for tomorrow because I'm gonna do a fight companion. So yeah, tomorrow y'all tune in at 9 p.m. We'll be on for the whole card. Um, and Caitlin Chikag, and we can talk about that a little bit because I posted her link. She said she's got a fight on her podcast. Her podcast, what is it called? Burning the Boats podcast. Yeah. So yeah, man. Let's backtrack. Let's talk about the tough semifinals, flyweights. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Marcus. Did you see it? But Juliana Miller, she secures a spot in the finals with a second round submission win via Kimura over Caitlin Neal. So we moving forward now. Juliana Miller got her victory, and last couple weeks ago, Brogan Sanchez got hers. So there's your finals. Brogan Sanchez versus Juliana Miller. Now, as far as the fight goes, it's a good fight. It was a good, entertaining fight, but yes or no, am I wrong here? I think there's still some work that needs to be done. Like, obviously, if these girls are going to be trying to get into the UFC, like Juliana Miller, I like her heart. I like she's a gritty fighter. She likes to come in there and fight. You can't knock that. I just still think she gets hit a lot. I just think she gets hit too much. And, that style of hers, yeah, it promotes some problems on the level she's on. She's very relentless, but I just see her getting hit too many times in there, and that could be the downfall for her. I hope she works on her defense. Like, she got a good jab. She's got a good jab, and she's effective when she pushes on you, but not everybody's going to succumb to that type of pressure. Like, her pressure is effective because, Juliana Miller likes to fight her pace, and she keeps that high activity. She's got a good gas tank, right? So she keeps on coming, and a lot of the younger fighters, a lot of the green fighters that are unranked, that's going to be it's usually their downfall because they ain't used to that. Like, they get a little intimidated by that type of style. But you're going to find some more promising young ladies in the division where they'll find out how to counter that style, whether by a counter puncher or they're just as good of a grappler, even better, more technical than you. So that's how she kind of approached that fight with that relentlessness. Marcus said, also, I can see Juliana Miller and Brogan replacing the fighters that aren't progressing in the UFC. And yes, there is work that needs to be done. Yeah, I do see that too. Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a minute. I want to just talk about this fight real quick. First round, though. First round, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty exciting. I thought that Caitlin Neal had some success with her striking. But like I said, it was just that pressure that Juliana Miller came on with. She was really jabbing and punching her way in and just wanting to get the fight down to the ground. And Caitlin Neal, she just had trouble setting her feet. She had trouble setting her feet, getting off effective shots. Like, when she did, by the time she would let the right hand go, she just didn't have the footwork to get out of the way. So when she would throw like a good 1-2 and crack Juliana Miller's still right there. She's still right there in her face. So by the time she lands these shots, Juliana Miller clinches up with her and, puts that strength on her. And Caitlin Neal, she's a fit fighter. You know, she's physically fit, but I think Juliana Miller is just an all-around stronger fighter, you know, in the clinch, even on the ground, especially whenever Juliana Miller would get her to the ground and keep her on her back. Like, you could see, like, the effective strength from Juliana Miller. You know, she was just fighting very gritty and, you know, landed some good ground and pound, busting Caitlin Neal up in, like, that mid part of the round. You know, she landed some good shots and saw the blood leaking from the nose already. Caitlin Neal, she finished the round, you know, with some good strikes on Juliana Miller, but Juliana Miller almost got an armbar in the first round, I think, right? She almost got that armbar, but when she couldn't get it, she was still like tagging Caitlin Neal in the face, you know. So Caitlin Neal pretty much won that round, I think, off of the ground, just being a better, you know, better with her jiu-jitsu and just applying a very effective pressure, man. What's going on, High Five? And the second round, I could already see like the wheel being broken in Caitlin Neal. You know, you could see the wheel was broken because she started off like she wanted to find her range again, but she just let Juliana Miller pressure again. You know, pressure. It was like she just said, "Oh, here we go again. I got to take this pressure." So again, when they clinch up, Caitlin Neal looked like she was about to break. You know, I could hear Amanda Nunes saying, you know, if you don't want to be there, don't be there. You know, use those elbows to break. Like, there was a couple of times where I was saying that myself. I was like, all right, like, Juliana Miller is pretty good in the clinch. Like, you know, she's good at those knees. Like, she can initiate a tie clinch and land good shots. But Caitlin Neal, she doesn't like that. I was like, you know, just throw the elbows and get out. You know, turn her and throw the elbows and get out. But she chose to stay a few times and was eating some knees to the body. So when Juliana Miller does clinch up with her again, Caitlin Neal, instead of you know, trying to keep her back to the fence, she lets Juliana Miller pull her out to the center, trips her, and gets her down again. And when she's down on the back, she just really looked defeated there. That's why Juliana Miller had no problem transitioning to a full mount on her, you know, and landed some ground and pound on her. And I think it was like with Caitlin Neal, she tried to roll, but I thought it was going to be an armbar off the back from Juliana Miller because all she had to do was like separate that. She had to separate one of the arms and just get an armbar. But whenever Caitlin Neal rolled, she rolled right into a Kimura, man, and that was it, man. Juliana Miller just submitted her. So yeah, that's what's going to keep Juliana Miller pushing throughout these fights, you know, is her relentlessness. I don't think a lot of these young fighters on this level, they're dealing with too many girls that can fight at this pace. But of course, with the higher level she gets, her defense and, you know, stuff like that has to tighten up. So yeah, she's a solid. She's gonna make a good solid addition to the unranked fighters. But along the way, you're gonna have to see the style change. You know, we know she's tough, right? We know she's tough, but you still got to change some things up. Like, that's what some people get it mixed up. They like seeing these type of fighters put on these type of matches. But I mean, that's good if you just want to be a top 10 fighter. But if you want to be the belt holder, then you need to make the right adjustments and the right changes to defense. Because like I said, defense takes you far. You know, defense will take you far. Like, not always fighting off a heart. But as of right now, I think Juliana Miller, she could get some of these other girls, she could hand out some walking papers. You know what I mean? Let's be real. Like, even if she doesn't win the finals, which she definitely has a good chance to, because I don't know, like, Brogan Sanchez, the condition of her knee and, you know, her defense as well is not the best. And sometimes that stance of hers can be wide open for a takedown from Juliana Miller. She has some good jiu-jitsu as well, Brogan Sanchez, but I don't know if she can handle that pressure. You know, this tall, long fighter. She couldn't really handle that pressure from Aaron Blanchfield, you know, when she fought Aaron Blanchfield a while back. So I'm kind of favoring Juliana Miller to win it. So let's say she does. Yeah, I think she can hand out some walking papers. So some of these unranked girls, yeah, they're going to have to watch out. You know, they're going to have to watch out for somebody hungry like this, you know. Juliana Miller might beat a couple of these girls on the unranked scene, and then they're going to be like, oh, man, like, I'm cut, you know. So they got to watch out because, yeah, she's coming, you know. Still got a lot of work, but the unranked girl's going to have to look out. Straight, what's going on? Marcus Bell said, I heard someone mention that if you can't dance, you can't fight. But my take is that is if you can dance, that will help your lateral movement. Someone said if you can't dance, you can't fight. No, I don't believe that. Who said that? You can't, if you can't dance, that doesn't mean you can't fight. Learning how to dance helps your lateral movement, like you said, and it definitely helps your footwork. That's why Vasil Lomachenko's father signed him up for ballet, put him in ballet, and you see like what it did for his footwork, right? But no, like I think people can fight regardless. Like, let's if you want to narrow it down, like boxing, like if you want to be a boxer or a striker, like a mover, dance is going to help you. But to fight, nah, like to fight, when the word is that generic, like to fight, no, like you don't have to be a dancer to me. I mean, if you want to be a striker, you want to have rhythm. If you want to have that Pacquiao rhythm, you want to be moving around like that. Dancing definitely will help that type of person. Or if that person was a dancer in the beginning, then it could transition to maybe being a striker. If they have the heart to fight, right? But yeah, you don't have to be a dancer because I don't really dance. I boogie. I boogie. That's what we call it. Gangsters don't. Yeah, we don't dance with gangsters boogie, right? I'm just joking. But yeah, I don't get down like that. I ain't all over the floor. I ain't no choreographer dancer. I ain't no ballet. I ain't gonna knock ballerinas either because they are powerful. They are strong. But no, man, I ain't on it like that. But I definitely know the science of footwork is different than dancing. You know what I mean? Like you can add rhythm to boxing and you can add rhythm to a striker, but once somebody just knows the science of angles and what lateral movement is, their mind's going to think in angle. It's going to think in geometry. It was Sugar Ray Robinson said that before. Like boxing is geometry, so it's not necessarily dance. It's more geometry. So if you think in angles and you can think of lateral movement, yeah, like again, dancing can definitely help. It'll contribute, but overall, no, I don't think so. Ernest Richardson said, Olga's looking right. Okay. High five said Tennant is you mean Tina is a beast? Or is you saying she a bit tall or a bit thin? Yeah, Olga Rubin, yeah, she's pretty ripped in here. Yeah, Marcus Bell said I disagree with that statement. That was made on TUF. I just skipped to the fight. I'm gonna go back and watch the whole show though. I just wanted to watch the I just wanted to get to the fight. Yes, I'm gonna go back and listen to who said that. Straight said any news on Andrade's injury? Yeah. Back. It was a back. Yeah. It was undisclosed for a while, but it was a back. Agapova, as y'all know, Agapova's out. She has a knee injury. We already know that she's been out, but she suffered from a knee injury. So yeah. Ernest Richardson said, "You are you ready for this heat wave?" Yeah, I'm ready, man. Out where I am, you over here on the East Coast, yeah. I mean, it's been like 94, 95. I like the heat anyway, man. Like, I can take the heat. I've never, knock on wood, I've never had any issues with heat stroke or anything like that because I know how to just keep it balanced when it comes to that. Like, I'm not a winter person. When it comes down to, heat, yeah, I'm always ready for the heat, man. So yeah, yeah, it was a good fight. Like I said, it was a good fight. Juliana Miller, I think, with her heart and her relentless pressure and her gas tank, if she start making right improvements, she'll get there. She probably will get there. But let's see. Yeah, tomorrow night we got Tanisha Tennant, Olga Rubin. That fight is going down. Make sure y'all hit that like button too while we here. Tanisha Tennant, Olga Rubin. This is the main event. You can see here, Olga Rubin. She made weight. She was a former featherweight with Bellator, but she's able to move down to 135. Tanisha Tennant, she looks slim and trim, ready to go. She's always in shape. This fight here, though, man. Well, first off, the rest of the fights, you got a few fighters on there from the UFC, like Toledo Bernardo. I know y'all remember Toledo Bernardo, right? You know what I'm talking about when I mentioned Toledo Bernardo, man. Toledo Bernardo versus Viviana Arujo. Yeah, she's on this card. You got Amber Lee Brock, Morgan Freer. Amber Lee Brock, she was a featherweight. She was in Bellator for a while, Invicta before she went to Bellator. Now she came back. Who else is on this card? I'm just kind of memorizing it off top right now. I'm not looking at the schedule, but who else was on this one? Isis Verbeek, Melissa Odessa. That's going to be a good strawweight fight. I think Isis Verbeek, she's a pretty solid fighter. That's on the come up. Good stand-up game, good takedown defense. I've been watching her. She's only like, I think 3-4 fights, maybe 3 or 4 fights deep in the game. Isis Verbeek, yeah, she definitely one to look out for. I can see her getting signed one day. The better she, the more and more she polishes up with her stand-up. So yeah, you got a pretty good, decent card. Yeah, I'm trying to memorize somebody else because there's another fight I do want to see on this card. I don't know if y'all seen PAWFC. There's a couple fighters from there. PAWFC, they're like an all-women's organization that is just starting out. You got a couple fighters from that organization, or one or two, maybe like one fighting on this Invicta FC card as well. So yeah, but yeah, Tanisha Tennant, man, going into this fight here, she got to really make a big statement. She's got to make a big statement just to start putting more eyes on her, put more promotion on her. Even if she doesn't get signed yet, even if she doesn't get signed off of this fight, you just want to start bagging more wins just to kind of get more people to follow you, And like I said, it ain't always IG followers and social media, but some organizations, they look at that. Some organizations, they're going to look at that. Some people are going to look at that as far as, oh, should we sign this person? They don't really have this big of a following. And it could just help her in the long run either. Like, not necessarily you just like showing skin like some of these other women out here, but I mean, you could just get more eyes on you with more highlight reels, right? Like, you look at Zhang Wei Li, like she don't post thirst traps and stuff like that. She's always posting hard work, and with the type of style she's been the success she's been having in her fights and the style of hers, she's been able to post little highlight reels and things like that. So, I think maybe Tanisha just has to step it up just a little bit as far as pulling the trigger a little bit more. I'm not saying get reckless in there like Juliana Pena or something, but, just turn it up a little bit on this level to make people say, oh, yeah, you belong on a higher level from here, right? So even if she doesn't get signed off for this fight, maybe she need to, bag some more bantamweights, get some more bantamweight fights under her belt, just keep working on her skills. And, that phone, she'll get that phone call whenever they start seeing like dominant wins from her, right? Yeah, Stray says she needs to bring that dog. Yeah, like if the knockout can be there and your opponent's pretty much rendered helpless, yeah, I think sometimes, yeah, you got to bring the dog on them. Like her last fight with Versosa, when she won the belt, I thought there was a couple of times, yeah, she could have went in there. There was almost a moment where like the referee saved Versosa, but I thought there's plenty of other times where she could have just got the girl out of there. But it was still a pretty dominant win. Went to the cards, but I think that's, yeah, like you said, got to put that dog on them sometimes whenever your opponent is just completely helpless. You got them tied up and you just dominating, go ahead and finish, go ahead and finish the job. But I think she's going to get this one. I think that, Tanisha, her skill level is better than Olga Rubin's. I think Olga Rubin is tough. She's gritty. She might be dangerous here in the clinch and even getting some takedowns. And she's strong. Olga Rubin is strong. That's why Tanisha needs to fight a very technical fight for maybe the first round or two, wear her opponent down, body shots in there. Y'all know Julia Budd was able to stop Olga Rubin with the body shot a little while back. And I see them abs, the abs are really coming in. She's trying to, get that, she's trying to get that core tight since she's been stopped to the body before, So always still a target, Tanisha, just simply break her opponent down maybe the first couple rounds and, then try to go in there and finish her off, So yeah, that's going to be a big key there. But yeah, I do have her winning this fight. Let me see here. Oh yeah, Karina Rodriguez signed to Bellator too. Okay, yeah. Um, let's see. Well, Chelsea Chandler, she's been signed to the UFC, so probably eventually, Tanisha, she'll get there. But yeah, as long as they keep letting that opportunity pass by, that's just a time to just keep getting better and better with your fight. Just keep on getting better, get better and better with your skill sets. You know what I mean? Just keep on working on your stand-up game, your takedown defense. Maybe even like work on that strength. Start thinking about the bantamweights in the UFC. You're gonna be dealing with a lot of big fighters like Ketlen Vieira, Yana Kunitskaya, even on the lower level, Carol Rosa, Sarah McMahon, Rocky Pennington. So when I start looking at Tennant in that fashion too, she's gonna have to start bringing in more strength. More strength. Definitely like her stand up now and how she takes her approach, uses her IQ. But yeah, strength is going to be a big factor moving into the UFC's bantamweight division. I know we always talk about, oh, these fighters are older, they dry and things like that. But no, you saw what Sarah McMahon did to Carol Rosa, right? And you seen what Carol Rosa did to Jocelyn Edwards. So strength is going to be a big thing for Tanisha Tennant. So I want to see what she looks like physically in this fight. Like, let's see how she handles Olga Rubin in the clinch. And if that's a telling tale, like if she can't, then yeah, she will have to keep working on her strength, and there won't be no need to rush her. Robot Chicken, what's up? He said JoJo got cut. Oh, she got cut for sure. She got cut for sure because I know she was taking a leave of absence. Did they just cut her? Zama said, "Olga Rubin's so bad, Tennant can just go ham. Can't ever go. You can't just go ham now. I mean, she should be able to stop her. Let's put it that way. She should be able to stop her though." Okay, let's see. Melissa Odessa Parker versus Isis for beat. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that fight. Perozin versus Christina Williams. That should be a good fight. Amber Lee Brock versus Morgan Free. I can see that ending in a knockout. That's a strawweight. That's a featherweight fight. Let me see. Perozin and Christina Williams. Catherine Laneher versus Toledo Bernardo. I think Katharina Laneher was she ever in a TUF house? That name sounds familiar. But yeah, this is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. So y'all, I'll be on about 9 p.m. Eastern time. And y'all know Invicta FC, they show their cards on the YouTube channel. So yeah, check it out there. Okay, so all right, this Saturday, don't have really any big fights coming up this Saturday, but we always talk. We got to cover the WMMA fights anyway, right? Let's see. Mandy Bohm versus Victoria Leonardo. Kenta, what's up? He said Tennant via decision. Yeah, I'm pretty much going that route too. Robot Chicken said Olga can grapple. She doesn't have to strike. It's MMA. Right. Yeah, she tough, man. Like, I ain't gonna lie, man. Olga Rubin, yeah, if you get in the clinch with her and she got that physical size, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So you don't want to go ham. Marcus said JoJo isn't cut yet. Robot Chicken said yes. She's cut. Marcus heard the news today. Dang, JoJo. They said no leave of absence for you. Maybe she just made the choice to leave. Mark Robinson, what's up? He said late night show. I dig it. Eating while listening. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna be on here for a few more minutes. I'm just getting these fights out of the way, these little fights, because tomorrow is gonna be a fight companion. So no other talk, really. And I just had some free time while I'm, on my downtime here. So I said, all right, let me just talk a little bit here with y'all. Stray said BJ be praying for Bohm. I like Bohm too. Don't get me wrong, but off of one fight, I mean, there's still a lot to tell, man. She just got to work. Like, I watched her in Bellator. I was following her first because I've been seeing her in Bellator. But after I saw like how she couldn't pull the trigger against Ariane Lipsky, I said, okay, yeah, this is another level. Like, this fight here, if she doesn't go in here and look dominant against Victoria Leonardo, that's going to be a problem. Yeah, so that's what I got to say about this fight. First of all, Mandy Bohm versus Victoria Leonardo, this is a fight that they got to show up. They got to show up and show out. More so Victoria Leonardo, because Victoria Leonardo hadn't got a win in the UFC yet. But then Mandy Bohm, you can't look bad against a Victoria Leonardo, or you can't you just can't scrape by with an easy decision against a Victoria Leonardo. You got to go in there and stop Victoria Leonardo to be proven that you are the next flyweight or the next threat. You got to stop this girl. You have to stop her. Like, the standard's been set. Everybody that's came into the UFC that's fought Victoria Leonardo has got her out of there for the most part, right? Manon Firo, Melissa Gatto. Who else stopped her? Erin Blanchfield, she stopped her in Invicta. So she already got to her. Miranda Maverick stopped her in Invicta. And she beat her in the tournament too, I think. Yeah, she beat her in the tournament too. So Mandy Bohm, yeah, she just can't go in there. She just can't go in there and get some little easy win, or just get some W. She got to go in there and stop them. Let's see. Victoria Leonardo is 8-4. They're both actually on the chopping block, because one loss, and let's say Mandy Bohm loses to Victoria Leonardo, that's going to be a telling tale too, where the UFC might say, okay, Mandy Bohm's not ready. We'll cut her now. So they'll cut her off if she loses her first 2 fights. So she's not in the cold water either. She's in some hot water. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, those are her only 2 fights. Victoria Leonardo, her only 2 fights were Manon and Melissa Gatto. She had won that Chelsea Hackett fight on the Contender Series. Yeah, I remember that 2 years ago. But yeah, it's been 2 years and she's 0-2 in the UFC. So that could still spell a cut if she was to lose real bad to Mandy Bohm. And if Mandy Bohm was to lose real bad, that could be a cut, because they got to make room right now. The UFC trying to make room for these other ladies that are coming in the game. The UFC is got to make room for this TUF House girl, because like the TUF House girls that do look decent, even if they lose, they'll probably get signed, and then they might start getting rid of some of these other fighters that they just see as like, extra fat. Like, they're gonna start trimming the fat off here. I don't know, man. Let me see. Straya said, sounds crazy, but I can see Leonardo winning. She fight for a contract. Really, yeah, I can see the one winning. Like, I do like Mandy. Like, I've been watching her from Bellator. I came from those days watching her, and I thought she was entertaining there. But, there's levels to this game. I could see this fight going either way, because Victoria Leonardo is on a 2-fight losing streak right now. Right? She's on a 2-fight losing streak. She might come back dangerous. And she was trying to apply pressure and fight hard against these big physically strong flyweights that also have good striking and good clinch game, like Manon and Melissa Gatto. But that just showed you the level they're on. Let's see if Mandy Bohm can stop the pressure and she can stop the stream. Because, Victoria Leonardo, she's a big flyweight. Like, she's a big flyweight. The thing is, Manon and Gatto are bigger. But she's a pretty big flyweight too. But she can be hit easy. She can run right into shots. So I want to see if Mandy Bohm's striking is a couple of clicks, faster now, because Ariane Lipsky made her look like she didn't belong there. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Ariane Lipsky was tagging her and hitting her with big right hands, just making her honest throughout the fight. So, both of these ladies have to show up and do something big for this one. That's the only way they're gonna stay afloat. Like, this ain't even a fight to make us say whoever wins, oh, they the next big thing. No, that's just to keep their career afloat now. Kind of like Antonina Shevchenko. I think the winner of this fight needs to fight Antonina Shevchenko next. Let's put it that way. Like, whoever wins this fight, fight Shevchenko next. Antonina. This is the lower of the low unranked fighters, right? I'm gonna go with Mandy Bohm in this one because I think she does have more of a well-rounded game. Like I seen her striking, on the Bellator circuit. Um, Seen her take down defense against those level of fighters, and I think Leonardo is not too far from that. So I think Mandy Bohm can handle it, but I wouldn't put any money on it though. I'd say it's like what is it, 50? What would I say, 51-49, 51-49 for Mandy Bohm, really cutting it tight. So it can go either way because, like I said, Leonardo might go in here and stop Mandy Bohm because she doesn't want to lose another fight, right? So she's probably tired of looking at 0-2. People don't understand, like, when fighters see constant failure in their career, it'll wake something up in them. They might just one day get so pissed, like Andrea Lee did, and just say, you know what, like, I'm tired of losing. Like Tisha Torres, I know it's a competition thing, some people would say with Tisha, but it does come a point where they say, I'm tired of losing. Like, I got to do something different, and they do make changes. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Mandy Bohm in this one. Marcus said Bohm versus Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Mark said, I'm not impressed by Leonardo, but in her defense, Mano and Gato are not easy fights. No, they're not. But yeah, even like I said, even in on the Invictus circuit, she's been, stopped before. When she was on the Invictus circuit, she was getting stopped by Mavericks and the Blanchfields and so on. One of her most impressive fights to me was like this girl named Stephanie Geltmacher, but she was just too big for that girl anyway. But it wasn't like this UFC level fight. So yeah, that's the most I can give her. Robot Chicken said, "Remember, everybody thought Stoyanenko was going to get handled. Fighters on a losing streak are dangerous." Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like, I picked Jesse just to win that fight too. I made that mistake. But yeah, Leonardo, she might do it. She might do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a tight one. It's a very tight fight because really they are similar on similar levels. Like, they are. They really are. Let's see. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Mandy, but I am not sure. Watch Leonardo pull it off. Yeah, I don't know. Leonardo might pull it off though. It's for their career though. It really is. But next fight I want to talk about here. Let's see, Molly McCann and Hannah Goldy. Hang on one second. All right, Hannah Goldy and Molly McCann. Hannah Goldy at 125. I think physically this fight's going to suit her. But, it's definitely going to fight. It's definitely going to be a fight where it's not going to be a rough weight cut for her. But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know, like, technically if she has anything to offer at flyweight. Like, Hannah Goldy was never really, like, a big standout to me, aside from her physicality, like, her appearance. Like, she looks like a little bodybuilder, like one of those fitness models. But other than that, I never really just seen like something stand out. Like Hannah Goldy doesn't have like crazy power. She doesn't have like a really sick grappling game or like submission game. Like, oh man, she takes girls down with ease and she's picking them up. She's strong now. Like, don't get me wrong, she's physically strong and she does have some good hooks. But like, I'm still not really like, wow, like something's really standing out. But maybe that'll be different at flyweight. Like, maybe power's going to carry up. Maybe she'll be a little bit quicker. I don't know. But I just think Molly McCann, right now, Molly McCann, the UFC likes her. Like, and that's why I said before, I'm gonna do a video on this. Like, Molly McCann, look, you ain't got to be a champ to be a star, man. Like, you ain't got to be a champ to be a star. If you find your lane, you will get something out of the UFC. It's all about how you use your time and use your opportunity. It's all about how you use your opportunity, man, because Molly McCann, she's still unranked, but even if being unranked, her fan base is still bigger than some top 10 fighters, right? I'm sure it is, right? I don't think I'm making that up. I can tell. Like Molly McCann, as an unranked fighter, has a bigger fan base than some of these top 15 fighters. Molly McCann is somebody the UFC can get behind because she's got a country behind her. So, in the meantime, to before she gets any top 15 fights and might lose some of those and lose stock, they're gonna give her some. They're gonna give her some fights to make her look good, and that's kind of what I think it is here. Like I think Hannah Goldy is a fighter that matchmakers feel like is going to make an exciting, dominant performance, dominant W for Molly McCann here, right? You don't want to give her somebody like Aaron Blanchfield, not yet. You don't want to give her somebody like Jennifer Maya, all right? You don't want to give her somebody like that in like a home country type of fight, like a homecoming type of fight. Not whenever the getting is good with her, like she's just putting together a string of wins. It's time to just push her and let her get her money. Let her fan base continue to gravitate towards the UFC, bring in more fans, bring in more and more, and that's what it's about, right? Because she's bringing in some fans. I ain't gonna lie, like she's bringing in more of a country, and she's even bringing in boxing fans because the Katie Taylor fans are they're checking her out because they train together. So yeah, I'm looking at all this. So Molly McCann, if I was in her shoes, hey, I would take it because it's like, hey, if you might not necessarily be champion, you can still ride this wave for a while. Like in a way, it could be better than Roxanne's level. Like Roxy Modafferi was always like a top 10 fighter, but she was losing a lot. She wins some here, she takes some punishment. She was never going for the belt, even though she put herself in a position to get there. But I don't think the money was like great for her. But I think Molly McCann being unranked, she can get finishing bonuses on this level. Her money can still be steady on this level without the punishment. Yeah, you got to think about that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you know that you're not going for the top 5 spot, you got to make moves for you. Like her, like I said, if she never sees herself as a champion, you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. You know what I mean? That sounds corny. If you say it, it makes you sound like, wow, like what are you, right? Like, but you can still ride those wheels and just keep making people think that. They'll be like, oh man, I like this girl. Like all the while they're never thinking about it. Like Molly McCann, they're just so supportive of her because she's from their country. Like they're not even thinking about that. Like I bet you, like half the time, like a lot of her fans aren't even thinking about that. Like when are you gonna fight Valentina? Like when you gonna fight a top 10 fighter? They're not thinking of that because she's just bringing the excitement and energy there. So you gotta get that. You gotta get it. You just gotta get in your lane. That's what I think it is. You just really have to get in your lane. Zama said meatballs a lock. Robot Chicken said Molly and Patty fuel each other. Fuel each other is pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. He said Meatball being motivated to win in front of her boyfriend. Actually, that's not. It's just her friend because Molly. Y'all know Molly McCann's. I think she is. I think Molly McCann is gay. I think she said that. I think she is. I don't want to start a rumor. I think she is though. That's just her friend. Robot Chicken said he said he'll pick Leonardo. Yeah, I could definitely see it. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like Bohm and Zaman Bohm and like Leonardo, it's not one to like get so crazy about because it's like, what's going to happen? They're just trying to fight for their careers right now, really. Mark Robinson said the WMMA main lanes seem to be number one. I want to be a very skilled fighter. Number two, I want to see a sexy fighter fight. And number three, I want to see an exciting fighter fight. Right. I want to see a skilled fighter fight, sexy fighter fight, or an exciting fighter fight. Right. Yeah, like those are like the three main lanes. So Molly falls under number three. She has a little bit of number one though, skills. It does take skills to do what she does, but with the skills she has to be impressive and keep her fan base going is, they have to give her something that's going to work for her. So she's more in the number 3 category, exciting, right? She's more of an exciting fighter, bringing the fans out. Got a highlight reel knockout now. She's had some good ones where she's coming out with her face busted up, like against Priscilla Cachoeira. So, yeah, those are like the different lanes you got. Like you got the sexy fighter lane where, you always got that fan base that's going to pay for your OnlyFans or the ones that are just going to pay to see you. But even then, that gets tiring, right? That gets tiring because Paige Van Zandt, nobody's going to pay for her pay-per-views now whenever she hasn't won a single bare-knuckle boxing match, right? Like even when she was in the UFC, when she started losing, people got tired of that. So that's probably the most dangerous lane, I think. Like the sexy lane is dangerous because, it's dangerous for your health and, it doesn't last as long. At least the exciting level and the skill level lasts a little bit longer because to bring excitement, they can just feed you certain fighters. You know what I mean? They can keep feeding you certain fighters, but the number one is really where you want to be all the time. I mean, if that's your choice, like number one, and you want to go for the best, Shevchenko style, you're perfecting your defense, you're becoming a brand, all of that, right? Mark Robinson said Waterson has number one and number two going on. Yeah, Waterson's got number one and number two. She's teetered between two and she's kind of dabbled in a little bit of all three, but right now I think she's 1 and 2 because she used to put on some exciting ones like fights with her and Joanna, Courtney Casey. But yeah, she has some, her early days with skill and the number 2 part. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, in this one, I'm thinking Hannah Goldy has a chance to, make it interesting. If she could get it to the ground, if she can slow Molly McCann down. But I think Molly McCann, her boxing and her kickboxing is just too much. I think she just got the speed advantage. She's got the hand advantage here, So I think this is going to be a fight where she could dance around and still blast big shots and get the crowd going, win a decision, possibly stop Hannah Goldy because we don't know if she could take the power here, right? So I'm gonna go with Meatball for sure. Like I'm more confident in this one. Yeah, Meatball's got this fight. Ernest Rich said Waterson is one-dimensional Muppet that needs to retire and become a promoter / commentator. Wow. I wouldn't say she's one-dimensional. Nah, she's not one-dimensional. Like, she's got the stand-up and she's got some underrated ground game. Like, she's definitely got some wrestling there going for. Yeah, I wouldn't say she's one-dimensional, nah. Like, I think she's one-dimensional. She's been stopped a long time ago. Like, she's been in some rough fights. Like, she hadn't got stopped until, recently and one time before against Rose. So, I wouldn't really call her, like, one-dimensional, though. I think she's seen better days, yeah. Marcus Bell said, if the Monkey King wins, he'll start twerking before that. Oh, no, therefore, yeah, oh, man. Patty. I'm going with Patty in that fight. Got to go with Patty, man. Because if he's going to be dropping it like it's hot, and if he's going to be dipping low and dropping down slow, I ain't trying to see that, man. I'm not trying to see him drop it low, dip it low, drop it down slow, whatever. I do not want to see that. So everybody cheer harder for Patty. Somebody bribe Patty with a lifetime McDonald's gift card or something. Tell him he gets a lifetime McDonald's gift card if he wins. That'll amp Patty up. I say we all chip in and buy him like a $50 gift card a piece to make sure Patty wins. Because if he wins, if he know he got food on the line and that's his celebration, he gonna make sure he wins this fight. If that's how we're gonna avoid the twerk show, so be it. Let's see, UFC fighter pay no concern. Okay, UFC fighter pay no concern for Patty or Molly. See, that's what I'm talking about. Look, They side with the UFC on fighter pay issue. Let's see. Patty has a message for UFC fighters unhappy with their pay and isn't one advocating for higher wages. Meanwhile, Molly McCann points to more than just her income that makes it good to be a UFC fighter. Yeah, this is something we'll have to talk about in another stream or video. I ain't gonna cover this now because this is pretty good right here. Because you got to know what you're signing. You know what I mean? Like you got to know what you're signing. You can talk about the pay all you want, but before you sign your soul away, just know who you signing it to, right? We just say, "Oh man, they deserve more money." Well, they got the contract in their face. I don't. Like I don't know what's in the contract. Only you know. Some people are just more dazzled about the screams and the roars and the getting to punch people in the face. They so blinded about that happening that they don't even think about the money. That's what I'm saying. Like, how sorry can you how sorry can you feel for somebody that has the option to read their contract they, you know, before they give their life away, right? Like, I ain't signing anything until I know what's in the contract. Like, but if you already signed it, whose fault is it? Lafayette, what's going on, man? Yeah, this is a late one, man. I started late because I just watched the Ultimate Fighter tonight, and I want to talk about that and some different stuff. But yeah, I got one more thing to discuss here. So I said, respect your stance so that abysmal celebration. Oh man, I can't do it, man. I can't do it, man. I can't. Man, come on. Who else going for Patty in here? Who else going for Patty? Please tell me everybody's going for Patty, right? I mean, Monkey King, look, don't get me wrong. He can fight. He can fight. The guy has some skills on the ground. Like, I do not knock his submission game, his jiu-jitsu. The guy can fight. But who else is going for Patty? Oh, Lafayette said he just woke up. He said worked hard yesterday. Oh man, yeah. I had one of those yesterday, man. Didn't get a full sleep in, but I got a little. But I'm gonna be off tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. So yeah, I'm gonna be trying to catch up on some rest, man. Stray said I'm gonna take Patty. Lafayette said don't like Patty at all. Steel Wolf said he's going for Monkey King too. Oh man. Well, if you're going for Monkey King, can you at least hope he doesn't drop the booty? Oh man. It's just funny stuff, man. Yeah, if he switches to the running man, right? I mean, it's cool up if people want to see that. Fine. I can't. Steel Wolf said drop it like it's hot. Steel Wolf wants to see it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Patty too in that fight. I'm gonna go with Patty. I'm going with Molly, and I'm gonna go with Mandy Bohm. Mandy Bohm. I'm not sure. Maybe that was like a toss up, really. But yeah, y'all saw the link I posted, right? Let's get this out of the way real quick. Y'all know it's official now, right? Marcus said if Monkey King wins, yeah, change the channel, right? When you already know he wins, you ain't even gotta wait for. As soon as you see him submit Patty, you can change the channel. You ain't even gotta wait for the announcement, man. Just change the channel as soon as he submits Patty or he stops Patty. Like if you know it's a 30-27 decision, just change the channel. That's all you got to do, right? But yeah. Instagram. Y'all saw the Instagram clip, right? Caitlin Chikagian made it official. It's official. I'm pulling it up here. She made it official. She said she has a fight with Manon Firo, aka the French chick. And she looked like she was happy to announce it. She was happy to announce the fight. That's good. I mean, I don't. I don't know, man. I don't think Caitlin Chikagian was ducking really. Like as much as I know the beating is coming and Manon's gonna win this fight, like I'm not gonna call Chikagian a full on duck like a lot of people are. You know, Brian Williams said I got to root for Leonardo. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm kind of torn between that. I like Mandy, but I do like her heart. Like when I used to watch Victoria Leonardo and Invicta, I liked how she fought. She was tough. She never stops. Hold on, let's see. Here goes Chikagian. Hold on. Arbit, what's going on? Derek Bailey, what's going on, man? Eric in the building. Okay, Stray said I'll take Victoria, Molly, and Patty, but not confident in any of them. Yeah, definitely not confident in the Victoria Leonardo fight or the Patty fight. Arbit said Jessica Andrade pulled out. I was surprised. Yeah, Arbit, it was reported she had a back injury. Right? Back injury. Here we go. Hold on. Listen to this.
Have a fight. Let's go! Yeah, I'm fighting Manon Farrow, aka the French chick, in Paris, September 3rd.
Hold on. Okay. I think y'all heard that, right? Dude in the back screaming, "Let's go!" Oh, it's going. It's going. Yeah, she seemed confident. I mean, she seemed cool with it. She announced it. I mean, look, I think the reason she may have pulled out before was, like I said, it wasn't really like even a pullout because I told y'all on IG Live before. She said she never signed for the date. She never signed for the date. She said that I didn't sign on for it. I don't know where that date came from. She said I never agreed to it. She said she wanted to fight her, but she never agreed to that date, right? I'm saying this in defense of Caitlin Chikagian, right? Look, I'm rooting for my girl to beast, but I'm just trying to be fair here, right? I mean, I ain't trying to be fair. I'm just calling the facts what it is. Like I'm going down the line here. Like I'm listening to this side and I'm looking at this side. Everything pointing at Caitlin Chikagian didn't sound like she was scared. I ain't gonna lie. Like, she said I want to fight Manon, but that date wasn't gonna work for her. But I guess whatever happened, she had to fix it. The UFC put the pressure on. They said, look, whatever it is you got going on, if it ain't injury related, she gonna have to fight, right? So now kind of proves she ain't ducking. She taking a fight. Yeah, that could be an issue too. They say, hey, you lose your number one status if you don't take this fight, right? That could have been a thing too. They say you're gonna lose your status if you don't take this fight. So I think maybe that put a little bit of gas under her grill, and she ready to go now. Zama said, I think she got a better offer, especially since she managed by Ali now. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That could be it too. That could be it. That's the thing with Manon is high risk, low reward for a lot of these ladies, right? So they said, okay, Caitlin, high risk, you get a high reward. Because she's been doing this for a while. So she looking for high paydays. So she said, if I'm fighting with somebody with this high risk, okay, give me a little bit of a high reward. All right, Stray, take it easy, man. Come on through tomorrow during the Invicta call if you want. Lafayette's opportunities getting stalled, whatever. I think Firo can beat anybody besides maybe Santos, but I'd rather see her fight Andrade. I think she could beat Santos too now. 50-50, but I think she has the ability to beat Santos too. I like Santos. Like you could go either way, but yeah, I think it go either. Santos got some skills, but Manon might have the volume to get by uh, Tyler Santos. Arpia said this girl must be scary. Even Jessica don't want part of this girl, right? Yeah, that's what I'm telling people, man. Sometimes it just work out that way, but sometimes I think that there is a level that they are kind of nervous. Mark Robinson said Chikagan is a veteran and should be ready. That being said, there are reasons to question if she's still hungry enough to bring out her best for Manon. If she does, I think she can beat Manon. Yeah, if she brings out her best, I think she could. That's why we want to see this fight. You know what I mean? Like, I think she could. I think she can. But we gotta hope she doesn't, man. We gotta hope she doesn't do it, man, because then we back to square one. Manon's style is all wrong for Santos. Manon's style is all wrong for Santos. Oh, you mean Santos will lose to her, right? Yeah, because I think Manon has the volume to win that fight, honestly. Now, if Santos gets into that pressure mode, I think she could rock Manon or knock her out, possibly, and submit her. But I think like the way Manon keeps range and she throws high volume, she could win. I mean, we saw Molly McCann have that success. As long as Manon doesn't go stationary, Manon could win that fight. Like I saw what Molly McCann was able to do, and I said, okay, if somebody has better kickboxing and they're stronger or just as strong as Tyler, they could beat her. You know, and that's Valentina all day. But I mean, Manon has that, so that type of stand-up game could favor Manon. But tough battle in the clinch and on the ground, I favor Tyler. Because, yeah, Tyler can be kind of slow with her hands, man. Like, go back and look at the first round of her and JoJo. JoJo was smacking that leg now. You know, JoJo was smacking that leg and touching her a little bit. JoJo just didn't have the power. JoJo didn't have the power or the volume, but JoJo was touching her. And like I said, go back and look at Molly McCann. Molly McCann was landing some right hands on her. I'm just saying now, like I'm just talking about styles here now. I'm not disrespecting Tyler's skill set. Like, Tyler could still go back in there and give Valentina hell, but I'm talking styles here. I'm talking volume. Like somebody that lets their hands go over the lazy left hand of Tyler Santos. Tyler gets hit with right hands now. I'm telling y'all. She gets hit with a lot of right hands. So somebody with volume, they'll put that work in. They'll put that work in on her. You know, like Manon can fight one-handed. Manon can fight with that right hand all day. She landed over 120 some right hands on Jennifer Maia. Go back and look at that fight. Manon threw that right hook and that right jab all day long. She threw over 100 right hands landed on Jennifer Maia. If Tyler doesn't pick up that left hand and she ain't faster, she can get hit with that right hand all night. But like I said, with that being said, if Tyler Santos clinches and does better than what Jennifer Maia could do, she can take her down. Like body shots. Tyler's got the power edge, no doubt. Tyler over Manon has the power edge. Like Tyler versus Manon. Santos, power edge. She could hurt Manon to the body. Again, I'm being honest. You know, I love both of these fighters. Look, I love both of these fighters' styles. Yeah, that's what I mean. I love the styles. Body work. You know, Tyler Santos could clinch up, work the body, and then gets to the ground. I'm gonna go with Tyler all day there, for sure. Lafayette said, I think Santos will submit Firo, but I don't know. It's a possibility. Yeah, like jiu-jitsu. Yeah, she's got the game, man. Robot Chicken said Manon beat Santos. Brian Williams said he got Santos by submission. Ernest Richards said Manon via karate kick to the midsection. Santos is winning if they fight. What about you, Arpit? What do you think? See what Manon and Santos, what they do if they matched up. Manon beat Santos. Okay, I read that. Robot Chicken said exactly. Molly was out landing by alarming rate. Yeah, she was till she got tired. You know, I'm gonna watch that fight tonight. I think again, and I might watch it with y'all. We gonna watch it. We might watch it on the channel together, man, because she was landing. She was landing. Mark Robinson said, I think Tyler will have problems with someone who's well-rounded that she can't overpower. That could be Manon. Not sure, but it could be. Steel will say he got Santos. Lafayette said, I think both beat O'Neal. I think we all agree on that. There we go. Lafayette said the most logical thing in here tonight. They both beat Casey O'Neal. Right? See, that's crazy because, look, we all know Tyler and Manon, everybody's torn on that. That's how good of a fight that is, right? We don't know. See how the skills match up? But see, when it comes down to it, Lafayette said they both whooping Casey O'Neal. And we ain't denying that. I ain't denying that. Zama said Manon is better in the clinch and cage work than the Bullet. She's bigger, has better takedown defense and get up game. Tyler would gas out quick if she tries to overpower Manon. Yeah, that's a problem too. Like the gas tank. Like Manon, like man, her clinch game is pretty good. Like even the way she was able to rise up on Jennifer Maya. And you go back and look at her early fights, even with like Leah McCourt. Like Leah McCourt did not win that fight. I'm gonna take it all the way back. Like Leah McCourt did not win that fight. Manon did well against a big bantamweight in that fight. They fought at like 138 or 134. Manon showed how strong she is against a big fighter like that, even in the early days. Casey O'Neal's trying to get that Macy Barber sweepstakes. Oh, she better be ready 2023 because, you know, she just better make sure she's ready. Brian said, I think Manon is a future champion. Brian, I think Manon is a future champion. Yeah, I think so. Lafayette says she doesn't really submit high-level fighters. JoJo was on her way out the game. Yeah, Tyler Santos is a great grappler. She's strong. But when it comes down to just like really being like technical with it, who is she submitted? She didn't submit Jillian Robertson. She didn't submit Roxanne. Of course, both of them are black belts too. But I mean, you know, like if she was that really, really keen on getting submission wins, like Mackenzie Dern, you know what I mean? Like you could put her on that level, right? But Tyler she's a great grappler as far as neutralizing and just out muscling you and just putting strength on you. But she still doesn't get those submissions. Like I said, she didn't submit Molly McCann. She didn't submit Jillian Robertson. She didn't submit Roxy. Almost basically knocked out JoJo. Like she could have had it any way she wanted to. You know, she could have knocked JoJo out or submitted her. I mean, the taking was there. That was just JoJo, but everybody else she just kind of neutralized and beat up, but she never really put them in a submission situation. Like when you look at Mackenzie Dern, like I said, Mackenzie Dern, like when she gets you down, she's going strictly for that submission, and she's going to isolate whatever it is, you know, the knee or the ankle or the arm or whatever. But she's really good at like just putting the weight on you and beating you up in that fashion and get strong arming you, you know. But I think her game plan against Valentina was a little bit I won't say one dimensional. It just didn't really acquire any other type of tools in there, like just trying to keep Val tame or, you know, neutralized. There was really no ground and pound. She was just trying to keep her in that rear naked choke. There's really no other ways to muscle her like she did Roxanne or Jillian Robertson. So that would be the question: could she neutralize Manon in that fashion? And I don't know. I don't know. Like she'd have to submit her. Like she'd have to hurt her to the body or clip her, get her down, then submit her. But like just her like out muscling Manon, I don't know. He said, "Look, Furo's my favorite fighter. I think Santos wins. Being impressed with Santos, to be honest." Oh yeah. I get you, man. To me, I just think I see openings for both fighters, and it's a fight where I have to just see it. You know what I mean? Like, I like them both, but not even based off of liking them. I just think they both have great skills that need to be tested against each other. You know what I mean? Like, I think they both could do well against each other, and I can't pick. I can't pick really. Mark said I like Val, but the more I think about it, it would have been a great division for Tyler to win. I fear that Tyler's first shot was her best shot. The next time Val will be much prepared. Yeah, that's the scary part. That's why I think she might need to change the maybe add a little something else to the team. Maybe add like another wrestling coach. Maybe add a little striking. Maybe add like a little striking coach and a boxing coach and maybe like a wrestler, so they just don't go for the same takedowns. You know what I mean? He said if Manon loses to Chikagan, we are really back to square one. Our rule is a long shot, grass is a longer shot. Yeah. Yeah, we'll all have to go home and cry, man. Brian, I think that too, her style won't work against Bullet, but Manon is better adjusted against pressure fighters / grapplers. Yeah, man. There's some great matches on the way, though. You know, all around, there's just great matches on the way here, and I just can't wait. I can't wait. I hope Manon wins her fight coming up. You know, Chikagan has made it official. It's out of her mouth. You know, for Manon, she don't know who she training for. You know what I mean? Like Manon over here just getting ready. Like first she thinking she's training for this tall, long fighter. Then she got to train for this little short, compact powerhouse. Now she got to go back to training for this long volume striker. So, you know, her mind's, I'm sure she's probably ready for anything, but, you know, Manon's probably thinking like, dang, now I got to change the mind frame now. Like, now I got to worry about this style. So I'm glad she finally got her opponent. Hopefully Chikagan doesn't pull out. Hopefully she doesn't pull out. Lafayette said you guys are not expecting Santos to make adjustments to strike more in the clinch. Wow. No, I am, man. Like I just think she needs to add more. If you might be talking to the chat, but I am. I'm thinking she is, man. Like she just needs to add a little something to the training camp, like Wei Lee did. You know what I mean? Like you got to work on more ground and pound drills against that type of style now. Now she has something to base that off of. When she watches that tape, she's gonna see like, well, I was one that actually said it when I first did my breakdown anyway. People didn't agree with me, Lafayette. Like I broke it down the first time. I said she gonna have to strike with Valentina. Like she gonna have to believe in her striking. But people were like, oh no, she too slow. Like her striking is not gonna work. She just gotta grapple. But I was like, no, man, like you still got to strike with somebody. Like if you just grapple, then you're predictable. You just one dimensional. But I was like, you know what? Nah, you got to strike with her. You got to throw something to make your game a little bit more confusing to Valentina. You know? I definitely said that. Yeah, I was like, you know, why not take the chance to throw against Valentina? Like, why not take the chance to strike with her when you got heavy hands, when you got power, right? But that's what it is, y'all. I just want to do about an hour on here and talk with y'all and get this out of the way about these fights coming up. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out too, man. Hit that like button. Still on the road to 1,000. Like I said, we do 1,000. Maybe I'll do a giveaway or something. Let's get to at least 12 likes. We got 14 people. Get to 12 likes. Mark said Santos had the element of surprise, 2 days to gain weight instead of one, and possibly some underestimation from Valentina. Next time, she'll have none of that. Yeah. She just got to make sure her game is more well-rounded, man. Like, well, let's say, yeah, like, I think she's a well-rounded fighter, but I think she just needs to be ready to use a little bit of everything in there, like against Valentina. Of course, the grappling, the strength is important, but I think using her hands and her leg kicks is still important, like Nunes did. But yeah, man, I am out for the night. I just wanted to, like I said, get in some talk. Like always, make sure y'all subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button on your way out. And yeah, we'll be on tomorrow night about 9 p.m. We do 9 p.m. Do this Invicta FC Fight Companion. And yeah, if you miss us live, go ahead and replay it later. It'll be up here. But that's all I got, y'all. Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Shout out to the chat. Peace.